My name is Fuasi Abdul Kaliq. I'm originally from Los Angeles, California. I'm living here in Berlin for several years. And that's who I am. I'm a saxophone player, producer, I'm a teacher.
And a band leader.
And a band leader, several band leaders.
So you're the band leader of Ebony Big Band?
Yes, I am.
So what does the Ebony Big Band and the program Swing Brother Swing and Swing Sister Swing mean to you?
What the Ebony Big Band project means for me is a great opportunity to bring fellow musicians here in Berlin, African-American musicians, also black musicians from other African diaspora countries together to perform together. And for this opportunity here during the Black History Month, we're able to perform music that normally we don't have a chance to perform in a big group.
So why the music of the 30s?
The music from the 30s was because it was an assignment, it was a request by the organization, Werkstatt der Kulturen, because we're doing something special this year in contrast to the 80th anniversary of the beginning of the Nazi Socialist Party taking over in Germany. And so we want to do something in reflection of what African Americans were doing at this time, also Africans in diaspora from the 30s and 40s.
And how does it feel to play this music in today's Berlin in the 21st century?
It feels, one, educational. It feels, it's an honor to be able to do something like this, to play this music and try to perform it the way our masters and our ancestors did before. So it's a great opportunity. We never had this opportunity before. You don't normally play a lot of music in Berlin, but we don't have a chance to play this kind of stuff all the time.
So what would you say was the most important moment during the work with the material of the 30s for you as a band leader, as a musician, as an American?
The most important thing for me as a band leader, as a musician, and as an American to do in this Ebony Big Band for the 30s was, one, to learn, to spend more time listening to the music that was happening in the 30s and how they organized the music and how they did very well doing as multi-instrumentalists, and the type of instruments that they used at this time were, of course, a little different because you were using banjos a lot and even tubas, but we were able to substitute that with what we have today, basses and guitars, and this opportunity was great for us.
So, does the house have a special meaning to you as a musician, again, as an American musician? Do you have the feeling that Werkstatt der Kulturen is different from other places in town?
Yeah, the Werkstatt der Kulturen is very different for me. In fact, it's the only venue that I really can relate to, that I can have a connection to. So it's a place where I have a lot of feelings because there's a lot of people who look like me around here. And there's not many places in town you can go to that you can be part of that, except in their own little circles and musician circles. And it's not always completely like that. So I really like the Werkstatt der Kulturen for this.
Was there a special challenge in making this thing happen, the Ebony Big Band, or?
Yeah, it was a very special challenge to make the Ebony Big Band happen, and that's finding all these black musicians who can play all the parts. And Berlin is it's a big town, but it's a small community of black musicians here. And so you can't always have enough people to do a really huge big band. I mean, a real big band, in my opinion, is about 18 to 19 pieces. But we were able to put together a band of the musicians who were living here. So, and they're all great musicians. And it really was cool because it's similar to the bands, the orchestras they called back in the 30s and 40s. Same size, not very big, but powerful.
And how did the musicians respond to your request?
Everyone was like, "Oh man, this is great." They were very happy that they're going to be part of something like this, because something like this doesn't happen. And if somebody doesn't organize it, it doesn't really happen. And this band I've had, just so I can mention it now, but I put this band together in the 90s. This Ebony Big Band, and we did our first performance also for Black History Month in 1996. And so the opportunity to do it again after all these years, it's very memorable.
Just one more question. How does Berlin treat jazz and jazz musicians, especially from the States?
over the time, it's been different. Say 20 years ago, they loved us because we were the cream of the crop for them, and we were their saviors in a sense, because we were able to bring this music that they never had a chance to touch it by being friends with us or talking to us. They only saw it in movies and in books. Over the years, I've seen a lot of changes in the sense that a lot of the students that we used to teach, a lot of the Germans that we used to teach, they grew up, and somewhere in the last 10 years, it became a little more polarized, because then the attitude became that we can play this music almost as better, if not better than you, and we don't have to play it the way you play it. And so I have these experiences myself. So, I mean, they still treat you with a lot of respect, and the younger musicians still treat you with respect. But the ones who were here, say 20 years ago, and I've been a part of in their education to bring them forward to this music, it become more competitive. And I come from a tradition of contributive music. We contribute to the music. Everybody's trying to bring something to the music. But I felt a lot of energies when I come around to jam sessions. Sometimes before, I'm the only black person there. And I felt very competitive because they want to outblow me or outplay me, because in their mind they feel that I was or am somebody who's supposed to be better than them. So they use me as or anybody like me as a example of somebody that should be better than, so they can improve themselves. That's my experience over the last 20 years.
Has jazz become more mainstream in Berlin?
I think so. In the last 10 years, I think so. That has become more mainstream because, like I said, they were growing 15, 20 years ago to a place where they're able to see now. They want to be on stage, they want to play music, they want to do the things that we were been doing all the time. And I see more and more students going to the jazz schools and going, not just here in Europe, but also in America, going to the jazz schools and trying to become jazz musicians, whatever that means for them. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think overall in the whole world, jazz is becoming more and more important.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.